All right, welcome back to All This Math. This is Professor Parker. We in here. Hit the like button. If you're watching, hit the like button. All right, if you didn't subscribe already, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, right? We got a lot of good content on here. Almost 1,000 videos right now. Almost 1,000. We almost to 1,000. All right, what else? What else? Send this video to at least 2 people. And if you got any questions about what I'm about to explain in this geometry question, right, put your questions in the comments. All right, what are we doing today? We're dealing with the polygon interior angle sum formula. What does interior mean? Inside. It's a polygon, right? Inside, the angle's inside, not exterior, not the angle's outside, the angle's inside. Like interior of your house is inside your house. The exterior of your house is outside your house. All right. Angle, angles, boom, 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 boom. Right. Sum. What's a sum? It's when you add everything up. It's the results you get when you add things up. Formula is a set of instructions, right, that you can use to figure things out. All right, this is the interior angle sum formula. It says n minus 2, the quantity n minus 2 times 180. What does n stand for, though? Put this in your notes. N is the number of sides in the polygon. So if it was a triangle, n would be 3, because triangles got 3 sides. If it was a quadrilateral, like a trapezoid, a square, a rectangle, even though a square is a type of rectangle, then n would be 4, because they got 4 sides. If it was a pentagon, n would be 5, because pentagons got 5 sides. That's why the prefix penta means, or pent means 5. All right. If it was a hexagon, the prefix hex means 6. So n would be 6. So ask yourself, what are we dealing with right now? We got this polygon, this extended line don't really count in terms of determining the number of sides, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 sides. We got a quadrilateral. That's called a quadrilateral. Prefix quad means 4. Lateral means side, right? All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like a lateral pass, quarterback throws a lateral pass, throws it to the side. All right. Lateral. So we got 4 sides. So if we want to know the interior angle sum, I would do 4 minus 2 and then take that difference and multiply it by 180. All right. Now, but why would I use this though? Let's back up. Let's back up, because I like geometry problems, because with geometry problems, it enables us to practice our critical thinking ability and our problem solving skills on another level, right? It helps us to just figure stuff out, right? Geometry is one of them classes where you just got to figure stuff out. You got to use your brain. You got to use formulas. You got to just understand connections and relationships between angles and sides and all types of stuff, right? It says to find the value of x, right? The value of x. So look what we got. We got a variable expression right here, 10x plus 6 for this angle, 13x minus 2 for that angle, 8x minus 1 for this angle. They don't even give you this angle, right? But we want to know what x is. So dig this. What I would do when I see a problem like this, I say, all right, I'm trying to find the value of x. So that means I need to think in terms of algebra. I need to create an equation. Right? But what will my equation look like? Well, I can use what I know about the interior angle sum formula to create my equation. So my equation could be this angle plus this angle plus this angle plus this angle is equal to the sum of all the interior angles, right? Now, they don't give me this problem, they don't give me the sum of the interior angles, but I could figure it out from using this formula, n minus 2 times 180. So what I could do is say, okay, well, if this is a quadrilateral got 4 sides. So I could figure out what the sum of all 4 of these angles is, right? And then I can create an equation that includes this expression plus this expression plus this expression plus this angle, which I can figure out. I'm about to figure it out. And so I'm going to show you how I know how I can figure out what this is in a second. Hold that thought, right? But that's how I can create my equation. So when you see geometry problems, what you want to do is like you think about, okay, well, what formulas do I know? What theories do I know from geometry? What postulates do I know from geometry that I could use to create an equation? Because what I'm really trying to do in geometry is get back to algebra 1. So we take algebra 1 first, usually, and then you take geometry after that. You might be taking it at the same time concurrently, but usually you're going to take algebra 1 first. The goal is to, in geometry, create an equation. So you're just doing straight algebra. All right. Now, let's figure out the sum of the interior angles, these 4 angles. If I know I got 4 sides, that n is going to turn into a 4. So then we got 4 take away 2. 4 take away 2 is 2. 2 times 180. Do the mental math. If 18 times 2 is 36, 2 times 180 is 360. So let's write that down. All right, let's write that down. So let's say that's going to be 360 degrees. All right, so that means this angle plus this angle plus this angle plus this angle is equal to 360 degrees. Now, again, why does that matter? Why is that helpful? Because now I know I could create an equation. I can, using these three plus the measure of this angle, which I'm about to show you how to figure out in a second, add them all up. That's got to be equal to 360. They got to be equal to 360 because we trust this formula right here. We trust this formula. And remember, our goal is to create an equation. We got to create an equation, and then we can solve the equation. And once we solve the equation, we will have done what we were asked to do, which is to find the value of x. All right. So now, let's figure out this angle. If this is a straight line, right, and this angle is 71, and this angle is also adjacent. Adjacent means next to, adjacent to this angle, right? And these two angles together form a straight line. That means that, put this in your notes, those two angles are what we call supplementary. 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 Supplementary, right? Not complementary, but they supplementary, meaning that the two angles, because they form a straight line, and a straight line has an angle measure of 180, that means those two angles add up to 180. They add up to 180. So if this is 71 and you don't know what this is, but you know they both add up to 180, you could figure out what this angle is. It's like money. Think about money. Let's say you want some New Balance, some New Balance 990s. They cost 180, right? You got $71. You trying to figure out how much more money I need so I can get my money up so I can get these gray 990s, right? Because I'm trying to be fresh. I need a fresh pair of 990s, right? You would do 180 minus 71. Mental math, I'm doing 180 take away 70. That's giving me 110. 110 minus 1 is 109. So this angle got to be 109. That angle got to be 109 degrees. So see, this is one of the reasons I like geometry, because we got to figure stuff out. Geometry teaches you how to use your brain. You got to know how to use your brain. Men, women, children, we got to know how to use our brains, right? Geometry is a great class in which we can practice using our brains. There's so many people out here don't know how to use our brains, don't know how to think, don't know how to figure stuff out, just out here getting taken advantage of, like left and right, and don't even know it. Don't even dig it. You're getting taken advantage of. You're getting scammed every day. Don't even dig it. It's unfortunate. But if you pay attention in geometry, where you got to use your brain, practice using your brain to figure stuff out, then you'll be less likely to be taken advantage of. So keep that in mind. All right, so this is 109. So now I can create my equation. So my equation going to look like this. I add up all four angles, right? And then I set that, all four of those angles equal to 360. Why 360? Because that's the sum of the interior angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an exterior angle. So we ain't worried about the 71. That's not part of the conversation over here. All right, so I'm going to do 10x plus 6. Oh, looks like my marker's about to die. 10x plus 6, boom, plus 13x minus 2, boom, plus 8x minus 1, boom, plus the 109, boom, is equal to what? 360. Now we're not even really doing geometry no more. Now we're doing algebra. Like I said, in geometry, we're trying to create an equation. We use the theory or the formula or the postulate or whatever so that we can create an equation. Once we create the equation, now we solve the equation. And once we solve the equation, we'll have the value of x. So let's get to it. Now, you need to know how to combine like terms. So this 10x, this 13x, this 8x is going to get combined because they're all x's. Put all the x's together. Put all the x's together. You got too many x's in too many separate places. You need x in one place. So I'm going to do 10 plus 13 is 23. 23 plus 8 is 31. So that's going to be 31x. So we got 31 x's all together. 10 of them, 13 of them, and 8 of them. All together, that is 31 of them. So that's 31x. Then we're going to do the same thing with these constants. 6, -2, -1, 109. So we got 6 minus 2 is 4. Or 6 plus -2, that's 4. 4 plus -1, that's 3. 3 plus 109. 3 plus 109, we got to know how to do basic arithmetic, people. All right, 3 plus 109 is 112. So now you got plus 112 is equal to 360. So look what happened. Look at all that just got simplified to just 1, 2, 3 terms, right? That's from combining like terms. I got a whole playlist on combining like terms in case you got issues with this, what I just did, right? Combining like terms. So now what I'm going to do next, I'm trying to get x by itself. When we solve for x, we're trying to isolate x. So it means we're trying to get rid of this 112 and we're trying to get rid of this 31. We're trying to get rid of this 112 and get rid of this 31. So how do I get rid of this 112? I'm gonna get rid of the 112 first, right? Right? You don't have to do that. I could get rid of 31 first if I felt like it, but I happen to know that doing that usually makes the equation kind of messy, and I don't like messy equations if I can avoid it. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of the constant first. You do the opposite operation to get rid of stuff in any equation. So the opposite of adding 112 is subtracting 112, right? So I'm gonna do minus 112 over here on the left side, and I'm also gonna do it over here on the right side because when we're solving equations, we want to be balanced. We want to be balanced. Whatever I do on the left side, I also do on the right side. 112 take away 112 is 0. That's what we wanted. So now we bring the 31x down. Now we got 31x is equal to, now what's 360 minus 112? Mental math. Do the subtraction. This is just arithmetic. 360 minus 100, 260. 260 minus 10, 250. 250 minus 2 is 248. So I got 248. 31x equals 248. 31x equals 248. I'm trying to get x by itself. I'm trying to get x by itself. So that 31 got to go. We got to get rid of that 31. How? We're not going to subtract. We're not going to add. We're not going to multiply. Why? Because 31x, the 31 is being multiplied by the x. I just told you. I'm going to reiterate it. When you're trying to get rid of something in an equation, you got to do the opposite operation. The opposite of whatever that thing is doing. The 31 is multiplying. So you got to do the opposite of multiplying. So you got to know that the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by 31. Boom. Then we're going to do the same thing on the right side because we stay balanced. When we're solving equations, we stay balanced. If I do it on the left side, I also do it on the right side. If I do it on the left side, I also do it on the right side. So I divide by 31 on the left side. I divide by 31 on the right side. 31 divided by 31 is 1. 1x, right? I end up with 1x over 1. You got to know the language of algebra. You got to know the language of math. You got to know that 1x over 1 is the same thing as just x. It's just plain old x. Boom. So I got x. And then over here, 248 divided by 31. Check this out. Partial quotients method. If I broke this 248 up into 240 and 8, and then I said, well, I know that 30 times 8 is 240. And what's 1 times 8? 8. 240 plus 8 is the same thing as 30 times 8 plus 1 times 8. So therefore, 248 divided by 31 is 8. Or you can just grab a calculator, So x equals 8. That's our answer. So look what we did. So look, we had to think. We had to use our brains, right? We can't just ask Siri. Can't just ask Alexa. Can't ask Chat GPT or Photo Math or go on your phone and cheat. Like you got to know how to use your brain, right? A lot of children, a lot of teenagers, high schoolers in geometry classes be sitting there thinking, what I got to learn this for? What I need this for? It's not going to help me in life. You don't think knowing how to use your brain is going to help you in life? For real? You don't think having critical thinking skills and problem solving skills is going to help you in life? Yeah, it's a lot of people that don't want you to have critical thinking skills and problem solving skills. You know why? Because they're going to rob you and take advantage of you. And you ain't even going to know it. It happens every day. It happens every day. People will rob you and smile and shake your hand and smile in your face while they robbing you. All because you ain't have critical thinking skills. Because you was sitting there thinking, all I need to know how to do is count my money. Yeah, all right. Let's see how that gonna work out for you. Right? So this challenged us to think and figure some stuff out. So in geometry, you have to think and figure stuff out. Just like in life, there's some people that know how to think and figure stuff out. There's some people that don't know how to think and figure stuff out. The latter, the people that don't know how to think and figure stuff out, their life is a little more rough. It's a little more rough, right? You don't want to be one of them people. You want to be in a group of people that do know how to think and do know how to figure stuff out, right? And geometry is one of the ways to practice. Don't get so caught up in the angles and the polygons and all that. Don't sit there and be like, well, I don't want to be an architect, so how this going to help me? I don't want to be an interior decorator, so how this going to help me? Yo, it's not about that. It's about practicing thinking and using your brain, especially in today's society in 2025, where we got all this technology that does all this thinking for us. So then when you going to practice thinking? When you going to practice using your brain? When do you have the opportunity? You better take advantage of these math classes. These math classes are critical thinking classes. They are problem solving classes, right? It ain't just about this. The same way you use your brain, we had to go through different steps and processes to figure this out and figure out what my equation was going to be, figure out how to figure out what this angle was going to be and what formula I was going to use and how I was going to set the equation up and all that. That's the same way that we address people in the street when we got problems with them. Could be a problem with a coworker, could be a problem with a supervisor at your job, could be a problem with your girl, problem with your boyfriend, problem with your husband, wife, whoever, right? This is what I'm saying. So keep these things in mind, right? Take advantage of these opportunities to learn. All right. So hit the like button if you didn't already. If you ain't already subscribed, subscribe. Send this video to at least 2 people. All right. At least 2 people. But if you still got questions on anything I attempted to explain, please put your question in the comment section. Put your question in the comment section. And once again, shout out to the ancestor, Malcolm X. All right. Peace. I'm out.